Let's make it happen.
Boing.
Boing, boing, boing.
Okay, well, let's do the one first at least, and then we'll see.
Okay. Can you brew a deck in 30 minutes? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if you can. Because...
I mean, if we do a whole hour and we can just split it into two episodes of the Brewing of Alexander Clamilton, or whatever you want to do.
Okie doke.
It's Commander Time!
Welcome to Commander Time. We are yet another podcast about the Magic the Gathering format known as Commander. I'm Nate Burgess.
I'm Dean Goody.
And I'm Patrick Cipolla.
And today we're going to talk about brewing Alexander Clamilton, one of our founding flounders. He's not a flounder, he's a clam.
Yeah, but it's a good joke.
Yeah, I think you floundered on that joke.
No, you're just reusing the joke, so it doesn't work as well.
That's like rhyming a word with the same word.
Yeah.
Speaking of words,
I mean, it works if you're super cool.
No, it doesn't really work that either. Speaking of words, let's read Alexander Clamilton. What's this nonsense going on here?
He is a new legendary creature from the new unset that is about to happen, or has happened, or will is happening.
Yeah, it happened a long time ago.
Did it?
But by the time this comes out,
okay, then it's a new it's a brand new legendary creature, Clamfolk Advisor Robit. Oh no, sorry, not Robit. He's a rebel.
Is he a rebel?
Yeah, he's a rebel.
Ooh, we can tutor him up.
Yeah, but so his name is Alexander Clamilton, and he is 2 and a blue for a 0/4, and whenever you cast a wordy spell, scry 2. A spell is wordy if it has 4 or more lines of rules text. Also has an activated ability of 1 in a red, and tap for choose target creature you don't control. Reveal the top card of your library. Alexander Clamilton gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of lines of rules text of the revealed card. Alexander Clamilton fights target creature.
okay.
So it's it's obviously based on Alexander Hamilton, who is known to be quite verbose, and also not a clam in reality, but in...
Are you sure?
I can't be sure, no.
Well, this means that the next unset is going to have Baron Fur, who is his arch nemesis, legendary Squirrel Noble. And he'll probably be aiming a Nerf gun to the right.
A surf gun,
no.
Nate.
What kind of surf? Like the...
No, it would be more likely a turf gun.
Yeah, surf and turf.
Yeah.
See, there's your joke for you.
You got it. You guys got it.
All right, so this guy's he's basically removal. Is it removal commander? He kills other opponents' creatures. Maybe we can get a repercussion going on. Are there other effects like that?
Pull that card.
Anyway, let's break this down a bit. For brewing this in a kind of live fashion, sort of live, I think we should...
Live adjacent.
Yeah. I think we should break it down into, figure out some categories of cards that you want to put in first before you start looking at individual cards. So, you might have heard of the 7x9 theory, or maybe it's the 9x7 where you come from, or maybe it's 8x8. It all depends on how many lands you put in your deck. So if 7 times 9 is 63, which means if you have 36 lands and 1 commander, you're going to have 63 cards left over. So you figure out 7 categories and pick 9 cards to go in each category. Or maybe you pick 9 categories and you put 7 cards in each category. Or maybe you put 1 less land in there and you have 8x8. whatever you're going to do. I think it should probably, the easiest way to go about it is to think of it as 8 by 7 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So however, so you have your 100 cards, you subtract your commander or commanders, you subtract all the lands you're going to put in there, and then you divide by 8, and it's probably going to be 7 point something. So as you come up with 8 categories that the deck should be doing, we agree on those, and then we'll start putting cards in the categories.
All right.
All right. Okay, hear me out. I brainstorm some, and
Which 2 do you put back on top?
Well, first of all, I would have to draw my hand and play an island, which I'm not often to do, to be honest. But I got a couple of things that we can do. We got stopping people from doing things.
Stacks.
So
Stop that.
yeah, stop that. And we also have protection. So stopping people from doing things that usually looks more like removal. If we were in black, we would be running things like Doomblade. But we're not in black, so we got to be a little bit more creative with our stopping people. So we want to look for wordy counterspells, perhaps, wordy creature removals, and
well, Clamilton himself is also creature removal.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. So maybe not creature removal, but
At least
you know,
as
it's,
much.
it pays to have some backup in your deck for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Because eventually, you know, you're gonna mistime your fight, and you're all of a sudden gonna need to recast him. And if you do that too many times, that becomes an issue.
All right. So you're proposing that the category is called "Stop What You're Doing."
Yep.
And
I mean, it feels only appropriate to make the words the categories as wordy as Mr. Clamilton would want.
Definitely. All right. Stop what you're doing. Cool. All right. So I'm on board with that. Should we throw some cards into that category?
No, we're still figuring out categories, Dean.
Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna map all of our categories out first. I like
Because
it.
some cards are going to,
All right.
our favorite cards are going to be in more than one category, and then we're going to be arguing about cards instead of the categories.
Ah. All right.
So, yeah. And then my second idea was protection for Mr. Clamilton, because he is only a 0/4, and there are creatures that are in fact bigger than that, and we don't want to have to be casting him too many times.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
I mean, does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I'm down with that. If our commander is getting in fights and even if he's, well, I guess if he's tying them, I don't know. He's got to survive the fight. That makes sense. To do the thing that he wants to do, he wants to survive the fight.
We want to do the historically inaccurate thing.
Yes. All right. I'm going to propose that we include some way to win. Otherwise, we're going to just sit there blowing up people's stuff.
I mean, as fun as that is, it does pay to do the winning thing.
Game's got to end.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay, how about untapping the guy?
Sure, he's got to clap he's got to clap to do his thing. He's got to tap to do his thing. Maybe he claps too, but we've got to also do the thing again. So untapping is good. Every deck needs some card draw and some ramp, as boring as that is. So those are those two separate categories, or is that one category?
They're separate.
Separate categories.
We also need lands.
We already figured those.
Sure.
We already got those.
But that's not a
right.
yeah. Mhm.
Right. Okay, fair. Let's see. And then, you know, I personally like to put pet cards in no matter what. So that's do they fit in any particular category? Probably, maybe. I don't know, but they're gonna be in their own special category as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, jank
So
is a
pet
category.
cards as a category.
Yeah.
I like that category. That's my favorite category.
Is that a separate category than pet cards?
It could be, but I don't think in this case. I think in this case it's jank and pet cards are probably the same.
Okay. One more. In one more slot.
How about a category?
Top deck manipulation.
Sure. We want Alexander Clamilton to have all kinds of options when he's doing his thing, and we want those options to be the best options. We want those words to be the best words.
Yeah, well, the most words.
That too. In this case, most is best, so.
Yes. The more words you use, the more better it is.
Love it. Love it.
Loquacious. Okay, so we got top deck, we got jank, ramp, card draw, win conditions, untap, protection, and I guess stacks. What does the stop what you're doing mean?
I mean, just removal. Or, I mean, you could do...
be stacks.
It could be stacks. I mean, that's one way you could go for it.
Right.
Hindrances for the opponents in whatever form they may come.
Yeah. You don't really call counterspell a removal spell.
Sure
It technically is, but I mean, some people do. I do as well. But, for the sake of our listeners, Nate.
Oh, okay. I am actually looking through the red and blue cards that could go in this deck, and it's occurring to me that Planeswalkers are probably the wordiest cards you could put in a deck. They have lots and lots of lines of text. So I'm going to propose that we have a Planeswalker sub-theme for this deck.
Well, let's talk about Dougie's article for a second.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So Doug Y, wrote an article on EDH Rec, too specific, top 10 word. And he goes over and he looks at cards and sees how wordy they are. And he finds cards that have a lot of lines of text on them. And he goes outside of the color pie a bit. I'm not sure why, but let's see. Planeswalkers tend to have a lot of lines of text on them. If you want to go the really easy route, then Persistent Partitioners has 7 lines of text. And we could just dump a pile in there and not have to think so much.
Interesting route. You could take the deck.
Yeah. And another option that Kaya would love is Chaos, because Chaos cards are notoriously red and blue or colorless and insanely wordy.
Oh, also...
just the most words.
In addition to Planeswalkers, sagas tend to have a lot of words.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's a good thought.
So, maybe not a category for them, but, just try to keep an eye out for...
especially wordy cards.
For an opportunity to run them.
Yeah.
Now here's a secret tech, you guys, that I discovered. So Soul Ring, classically, not a very wordy spell. It only has that one line of text: tap, add 2 colorless to your mana pool.
I don't like it.
if you get an old enough edition, the words were much bigger back then. And so, if you go from unlimited, beta, or alpha Soul Ring, it's actually a wordy spell.
Oh, so is this a pay-to-win deck? You get older editions of cards and they just have more words because the formatting was different?
No, Nate, you just get the wordiest version of the card.
Yep.
It might be
more
newer, I guess, in theory.
Well, I mean, that's happenstance.
Completely unrelated. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you happen to have an Alpha Soul Ring lying around, you might want to throw it in this Alexander Clamilton deck.
Or send it to me.
So that Patrick can front it in his Alexander Clamilton deck.
2 of the best uses for an Alpha Soul Ring. But, go ahead.
Absolutely.
No.
Or not.
Oh, well, hey, let's go ahead and throw that on our ramp list then. Soul Ring, obviously, it's got to be there. But specifically, since it's the cheapest of that category, an unlimited Soul Ring.
Okay, fine. fine, Dean. I mean, I think it's like, let me double check how much less wordy it is.
And unlimited is still wordy. It was in the range, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But I want to know. So that's that. So unlimited is a three-lined soul ring.
Yeah.
But hear me out. With your second editions, your betas, and your alphas, it's a 5-line spell.
Wow. What's the price difference there?
I mean, again, I'm not gonna worry. I mean,
and what is the price per word line?
Well, inquiring minds want to know, Patrick.
Unlimited is $67. Beta is $337.
Worth it.
And alpha is $849.
Do it. Somebody go do it.
Okay, we're 20 minutes in and we've agreed on Soul Ring.
All right.
Are you going to argue against Soul Ring?
No. I'm going to move on to the next card and say, let's put another card in this category. Right?
Yeah. I mean, so long as we agree on Soul Ring.
All right. So speaking of old rocks, Mana Vault is a cheap mana rock that is wordy, right? There's a lot of words on Mana Vault.
Sure.
Let's throw that in there. Cheap mana wise, not necessarily dollar wise.
How about Commander Sphere?
Yeah,
that's got a whole bunch of lines.
That's great.
Maybe this category is boring.
It is pretty boring. Listen, there's a whole bunch of mana rocks that actually sacrifice for card draw. They all have a whole bunch of lines. Just jam them in the deck. We'll go with that.
Okay.
All right. What's the next category in our list here?
How about top deck?
All right, let's do that. Classic Sensei's Dividing Top. Is that wordy?
It's boring.
It is boring, yes, but it is wordy. And it's a little unfortunate that most top deck manipulation is actually really boring.
All right. Well, how about the Poor Man Sensei's Dividing Top Soothsaying that our listeners might not know about? That's not as boring, is it, Nate?
It's not as boring. I have it on a Yenet list. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It's also a Approach of the Second Sun deck. So, yeah, Soothsaying, it's a blue enchantment, and you can pay X and look at the top X cards of your library and put them back in any order. And then you can.
And you can also pay 5 to shuffle your library.
You can pay 3 blue and shuffle your deck if you don't like what you see.
It's also vintage legal.
It's also 3 lines of text. Let's see. Okay, so let's scroll through some uncards here. And did you guys actually play Unhinged? Because I drafted one of these split screens and it was really good in draft. It's also wordy and it lets me split my deck into 4 decks and see the top of all 4 of them, and if I would do something on the top of a deck, I get to choose which deck I want.
Nifty.
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, and silly. So, yeah, put it in there.
All right.
Get it in. Why are you fighting me on this, Dean?
I'm not. Let's do it, Patrick. It's done. Moving on. Next card.
Thassa, God of the Sea?
Yeah, that's good. But doesn't the scry happen during your upkeep? So it'll be gone before you can get it with Clamilton, right?
No.
Oh, you can activate Clamilton at instant speed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, okay. So scry... Wait, does that work still? Trigger on the stack before you actually scry. You
go to your upkeep and then... Oh, wait, no, it doesn't
Scry
work.
trigger on the stack. Yeah, that doesn't quite work.
Well, you wouldn't be able to look at the card with it on the stack.
Right.
So, no.
All right.
She is very wordy, though.
She is very wordy, and she's generically good, so maybe we could include her. But let's look for more top deck specific stuff. How about the old cheap classic Dark Steel Pendant? Let me look at that real quick. Is that wordy?
Probably not. But you know what?
Let's put it on there anyway.
Yeah, we'll put it in there. We're kind of we're stuck for. we're oh wait, no, it is very wordy. It is four lines. There
Perfect.
Otherwise, it would have been just 3 if it weren't for the fact that it was indestructible.
Okay, I've been looking at the sagas, and one reason why they're so wordy is because they're only using 1/2 column of the card, right? So each line is half as long.
Yep.
Okay, so if we're looking at top deck, Metamized Prophecy, 1 in a blue. It's got 4 chapters. First chapter is Scry 2. That's on theme, right? Chapter 2, Choose a Card Name. That's all. Chapter 3, when you cast a spell with that chosen name for the first time, draw 2 cards. So basically you're calling your shot, right? That's a thing. That's a thing from the Hamilton thing. You're calling your shot. You say what card you're going to cast next turn.
Well, kind of.
You're not throwing it away unless you discard it.
Yeah,
Nate is winning this deck right now.
You don't throw away he's not going to throw away his shot. Yeah, so you were close there, but
he's on a roll.
He's not throwing away his shot. Volume 4, look at the top card of each player's library. So it's a low impact saga, but it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It also is a little bit of card draw, which doesn't hurt.
Love it. Let's put it in there. And let's look at another uncard that I found here. How about the SNEAK Dispatcher? For 1 in a blue, it's a 2/1 human spy. Pay 2 in a blue, tap it, look at the top card of target player's library. If it has an Agents of Sneak watermark, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. Otherwise, put it on the top or bottom of its owner's library. That's like a scry. It's a little expensive, but it works.
Okay. I mean, if I were to build this, I wouldn't put any other uncards in it.
What?
I don't know why. Like, it just like, I don't mind the uncommander, but as soon as I put an uncard in the deck, I'm out.
Well, we've already got the split screen, Patrick, so we're committed at this point.
Okay, fine. But I'm not going to build it. You're going to have to build it.
Okay.
Given that there are so few ways to really do top deck manipulation, we should probably move on to more interesting things. Like how do we get him to do more things? Also, fun fact, his ability would stack on himself. So if you're able to untap him and then activate him, he gets +X, +O again.
That's good. That's good.
Also, you'll be able to do the same spell over and over again. Uh-oh. Okay, let's pause for a bit.
Can we record a closer to this part? Yes. All right, Patrick.
Okay.
We pretty much just say, well, that's the show. But
you know what? Okay, so here we go. Well, we're about halfway done brewing this deck, and you know what? I think we have a lot more to actually say about how wordy words are. So why don't we pick this up next week, and we'll finish this up, and we might even have some spicy ads.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, okay. We can definitely do that. We've got a couple more categories to cover.
Yeah. I mean, we got about halfway. Yeah.
I think we've exceeded our 30-minute time limit, and we are about to turn into a pumpkin.
Oh man, the Snow White used to scare me during that part. Actually, when I was a kid.
Snow Boy?
Snow White.
Oh, Snow White.
Yeah,
you're in the wrong show. We're talking Cinderella here. Pumpkin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that scared me as a child.
And that's our show.
Man, those mice turning into people and vice versa.
You were afraid of the transformation sequences?
Yes. That was unnatural.
Okay.
It was dark-sided.
Yes. Just like Alexander Clamilton.
Night.
All right, let's do this. Let's finish this up.
Yep.
In the next part 2.
Woo, 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 woo.
Dude.
Visit us at patreon.com/commandertime.
You can find me on Twitter at Grubfellow, where I tweet using the hashtag DailyEDH every day.
At Detective Yarmits.
At Mr. Plorg.